Welcome to Brain Bites. In today's explainer, we'll explore a topic that directly influences our health, daily habits, and overall well-being, often in ways we may not even notice. The doctors we're going to rely on tomorrow, well, they're shaped by the testing systems of today. So let's dive right in and unpack the massive, systemic breakdown of India's biggest medical entrance exam, the NEET 2026 crisis. We absolutely have to start by highlighting the brutal, almost unbelievable math driving this entire crisis. 22.7 Lakh. That is over 2 million aspirants sitting for a single defining exam. To put that into perspective, that's like the entire population of a major city, all taking a test on the exact same day. This isn't just a test, it's a monumental logistical operation. It's a highly pressurized environment where the stakes, quite frankly, could not be higher. And amidst all those massive numbers, we absolutely can't forget the human cost. During the intense legal hearings surrounding this mess, the Supreme Court of India really didn't hold back. They pointed out that this whole ordeal goes way, way beyond just lost marks or delayed timelines. It's genuinely traumatic. Students literally invest years of their lives into this. And as the court rightly stated, we simply cannot disappoint our youngsters by failing to protect the integrity of their hard work. Section 1. The Medical Gateway. So what's causing all this pressure? Well, it's an extreme bottleneck. You have 22.7 lakh total applicants fighting for roughly 1.18 lakh MBBS seats and around 27,000 BDS seats. That's a tiny, tiny fraction. That kind of mathematical pressure cooker creates a desperate and highly lucrative market for the exam mafia. They know for a fact there will always be buyers willing to do pretty much anything for a guaranteed spot. And actually getting one of those rare seats organically, it's grueling. Candidates face a tough offline paper where they have a strict 3-hour window to answer 180 compulsory questions across physics, chemistry, and biology. Scoring above 600 out of the maximum 720 isn't just a nice school to have, it's an absolute necessity to even stand a chance at a top government medical college. Section 2, the 2026 Integrity Crisis. Now, let's look at how fast things fell apart. The crisis unfolded in a rapid succession of events that plunged millions of students into total uncertainty. The night before the May 3rd exam, a highly accurate guess paper was already spreading like wildfire on WhatsApp and Telegram. The exam went ahead anyway, but the structural breach quickly became undeniable. By May 12th, the testing agency, the NTA, was forced to cancel it entirely, scheduling a massive nationwide retest for June 21st. But here is the crucial point, the huge difference between past leaks and this one. Back in 2024, the controversy in Hazaribagh was a localized physical breach. A strong room was compromised hours before the test, benefiting roughly 155 students. Bad for sure. But in 2026, this was a systemic leak. A digital document containing 120 exact matches to the actual exam was leaked by the paper setters themselves weeks in advance, and then widely distributed online. It wasn't just a cracked lock on a door, it was a full-blown inside job. And the economics of this black market, they are absolutely staggering, and they highlight exactly why criminals take the risk. Initially, these exact papers were being sold to desperate parents for anywhere between 5 to 30 lakh rupees. Think about that amount of money. Then, as the exam drew closer, smaller resellers dumped the price to just 5,000 rupees. The profits are so massive that these networks simply ignore the harsh 10-year jail terms and heavy fines under the new anti-cheating laws. Section 3. Supreme Court demands accountability. Unsurprisingly, this total systemic failure ended up right in front of the Supreme Court. And the bench stressed that testing agencies cannot operate on ad hocism anymore. They have to build permanent, expert-driven mechanisms. The court hit the nail on the head when they said that until you can point to specific individuals and systems, the actual duty holders, and hold them accountable, the responsibility is just too diffused. Strong, accountable institutions are literally the only way forward. So petitions flew in demanding an immediate switch to a digital, computer-based test for the June 21st retest. The idea was to avoid another physical leak, right? Makes sense. But the court actually refused to mandate this. Why? Well, while fully digital formats are definitely the ultimate goal, transitioning a massive physical operation for over 2 million students into a digital one in just 3 weeks, that would place an impossible logistical pressure on an already strained system. So pen and paper had to stay for the retest. Section 4. The Blueprint for Reform. Before we dive into these reforms, if you're finding this explainer helpful and informative, we'd appreciate your support. A quick like on the explainer helps the channel reach more people and enables us to continue creating valuable content for viewers like you. Okay, so for the June 21st retest, the NTA had to swiftly integrate some serious security upgrades. We're talking Aadhaar biometric verification at entry to stop impersonators, relocating almost all private exam centers to verified government institutions, deploying multi-layer frisking and active mobile jammers, and even using post-exam artificial intelligence to spot highly suspicious scoring patterns that might point to organized cheating. And to eliminate the glaring vulnerability of transporting physical paper across the country in literal trunks, technical bodies proposed a really clever step-by-step hybrid digital distribution model. It works like this. First, digitally transmit an AES 256 encrypted paper. Next, decrypt it on a secure local server right before the exam begins. And finally, print it directly on-site inside heavily monitored CCTV-equipped strong rooms. It's a massive upgrade in security protocol. Section 5. The Path Forward. Looking beyond the immediate crisis, we have to talk about long-term structural overhauls aimed at fundamentally breaking the power of the exam mafia and large coaching hubs. Proposals include splitting the exam into a two-tier structure, basically using a digital screening test to filter candidates before a highly secure main exam. There are also strong, growing demands for a completely permanent independent body, the National Examination Integrity Commission, alongside a careful, gradual shift to fully digital, multi-session testing. That's really how you secure the future of medical admissions. But as long as millions of students are fighting for just a handful of seats, the pressure is always going to be immense. So, can technology finally outsmart the exam mafia, or will that sheer desperation always find a crack in the system? We'll leave you with that provocative thought as the future of India's testing infrastructure really hangs in the balance. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this explainer and learned something new, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends and family who may benefit from it, and subscribe to Brain Bites for more engaging, educational, and thought-provoking content.